Following the news, the economy has contracted another nearly 5% as coronavirus rips through the country. President Trump has expressed that he will not be supporting any more direct payments to American workers. In fact, here's what he says instead.
The idea of another round of stimulus payments to American taxpayers directly. Democrats, of course, up on the Hill are talking about the idea of a guaranteed income, which obviously could go on for months and months and months.
Yeah.
What about another round of
Well, I
stimulus
like the idea of payroll tax cuts. I've liked that from the beginning. That was a thing that I really would love to see happen. A lot of economists would agree with me. A lot of people agree with me. And I think, frankly, it's simple. It's not the big distribution, and it would really be an incentive for people to come back to work and for employers to hire. The double tax on the company and also on the person. That's what I like. And something like that could happen.
It would be an incentive for people to come back to work. Really? So why are people staying away from work right now as it is? Oh, right. Highly contagious virus. I know a conservative talking about it as well. Well, we're paying people too much to stay home. I mean, those extra $600 in unemployment benefits, we hate that. That's making a lot of people choose to stay home. But wait, the whole point is we want people to stay home for the short term until we can flatten the curve and get aggressive testing, contact tracing, all that stuff, so that we can quarantine the people who need to be quarantined and then slowly get everyone else back to work. Can't do that if you, A, don't have aggressive testing, which we do not here in America, and B, can't do that if you start forcing people to come back to work by ripping away the only support that they have. But that's exactly what they're trying to do. So now most Americans disagree with lifting stay-at-home orders. Over 80% of Americans say, yes, we would rather do the quarantine now, right? We'll do the social distancing, we'll do the stay-at-home orders, and even if it hurts the economy, so that we can come through on the other side and pick things up. So the majority of the American people are right, and they're on the right side, and they're smart. They're listening to the experts, and the experts are saying, we are not ready to go back to work. Trump's saying, oh, no, go back to work. We're going to give you a payroll tax cut, which doesn't help the 26 million people that are out of work currently. And we don't know how many businesses are going to pick up, how long it's going to take to get people back to business, right? And we're also going to hurt Social Security in the meantime. Which, by the way, in the CARES Act, they already got a deferment on paying Social Security taxes. The businesses did. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. This is terrible. So now, this is another way, of course, to justify sending people back to work in the red states that have opened up. And also, they're going to try to withhold money from blue states as well in order to get their political agendas. Later on that video, of course, in that same press conference, Trump started going on about, well, I mean, some states want some federal assistance and all that. And we can think about that, but we want to get some stuff in return too. In fact, we're going to go after sanctuary cities. Ridiculous. But another insidious part of getting people back to work before they're ready to do so is you have states that are out there warning employees that they're going to lose their unemployment benefits if they refuse to go back to work for their employers. So say your employer's a dick, and there's a lot of instances where this could be true. And they're like, I don't care about your health. Oh, I don't care if it's risky. I'm not going to do anything to protect you, and I'm going to order you back to work. And what do? Well, you have to go back to work or else you lose your unemployment benefits. And so there's a very real situation where you can get sick from coronavirus. And if you're immunocompromised, you could die. And look, there are situations where people that are generally relatively healthy in their 20s and 30s also die from complications, or they get strokes. All sorts of things are happening to people that were presumably quite healthy. So this is a devastatingly nasty virus. And yet you have an administration that doesn't care, that wants to send you back out to get that virus if it helps his buddies. So now this is one state that's doing this, that's starting to strip unemployment benefits away from people who refuse to go back to work, is Iowa. And it's ran by Republican Governor Kim Reynolds. She said last Friday, if you're an employer and you offer to bring your employee back to work and they decide not to, that's a voluntary quit. You would not be eligible for unemployment money. Reynolds also said that employers who have workers that refuse to return should file a report with Iowa Workforce Development. So, man, it's good. Your name's going to be in a report if you refuse to go back to work. Now, this is also starting to happen in Texas, which is opening up retail stores, restaurants, movie theaters, and malls. They're going to open up by Friday. So, no stimulus money, no unemployment benefits, and a highly contagious virus. That's not a good combination because you're, again, forcing people back into getting that virus. The whole thing that we've been locked down to begin with, to prevent the sudden spread, the spike of the virus from overwhelming our healthcare system. Now they don't care. They don't care. They're going to send them back out. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Now, add on to that the payroll tax cut, which is, again, a stealth cut to Social Security and Medicare. And by the way, it makes no sense to give people a payroll tax cut when there are millions of people, 26 million people that are unemployed. And again, we don't know how many people are going to be able to go back to work and how much demand there is going to be for products and services. I mean, how many places do you think you're going to see the huge influx surge of customers? I understand people are, stir crazy, right? Getting a little bit of cabin fever. A lot of us miss going out to eat. I miss going out to eat. But if you lift the restrictions too soon, is the majority of people, are they going to go out there? Are they going to be like, oh, no, the governor lifted the lockdown, so everything's fine. Even though the doctors and the medical experts are saying, it's not fine. It's not fine. We do not have this thing contained. How many people are going to go out there? Are they going to see a big surge in customers? And if not, what about all the workers that get invited back and then, well, I should say not get invited, get forced to come back and possibly exposed to the virus, then probably getting laid off again because there's a lack of demand or a lack of money because the government has not been supporting the people as it should while this lockdown has been happening. One $1,200 check, not nearly enough. Not nearly enough. And so, look, Dr. Fauci, Anthony Fauci, he's on the coronavirus task force. He's saying, look, we're not even close to being open with this. Contrary to what Trump is saying, right? There is going to be a second wave of this virus. And look, it's very likely that this could be more deadly than the first wave. I'm not 100% sure on that. That's speculation. But like, you look what happened with the Spanish flu. The second wave killed way more people. And so far, we've lost more people than we lost in Vietnam. Over almost 60,000 Americans have died of coronavirus. And over 1 million that we know are infected. How much more? How much worse is a second wave going to be? I mean, not good. Now, as far as the economic argument, of course, Justin Wolfers, economic professor at the University of Michigan, says, quote, economists don't actually agree with him. Payroll tax cuts are too slow and poorly targeted. Unlike additional stimulus checks, cutting payroll taxes does nothing to help seniors or the millions of Americans who just lost their jobs. And that's according to a tweet from Social Security Works. They do say, however, that it defunds Social Security and Medicare, which is why Trump is obsessed with the idea. So that's the situation. I mean, if you really want to help Americans, then yes, you would do direct stimulus payments. I mean, look, and let's be honest, a lot of people are against the idea on Capitol Hill. These people are all incredibly wealthy and connected. So they look at that and go, why would we pay people to sit home? Well, I mean, the answer is fairly obvious: to reduce the spread of the virus. But again, They talk about, oh, well, what incentives are we giving them? No, we want them to go out and work. You can't work in the middle of a pandemic. That is a terrible idea. Awful idea. And so that's the direction that they want to take us in, unfortunately. And again, if you want to cut Social Security, that payroll tax cut is just another way to do that. And that has been a longstanding goal for Republicans. I mean, Trump gets a twofer essentially by doing this. People are forced to go back to work, pleasing his donors, which the people that have been pushing for America to get back to work, they're almost exclusively right-wingers or billionaires. I mean, you had Elon Musk earlier today tweeting, "Free America!" Basically trying to get everybody to go back to work. Elon Musk, trash, garbage. Billionaires are useless. They are less than useless. They have not helped at all in this crisis. They have been sitting in their gilded mansions, putting out ridiculous video. Oh no, we feel we're there with you. We're here for you. No, you're not. No, you're sitting in your $1 million mansions, and you don't have to experience the economic anxiety of not being able to work, right? Because there's a deadly virus out there, and not getting any support from the government. Do you know how that feels? You absolutely do not know how that feels. So don't even try. Don't even try. No, garbage, useless. Rich people are useless. Job creator, my ass. But look, the problem with Donald Trump's plan is, of course, it's going to fall apart. It's going to end up worse on us. It's going to rebound worse on the American people. We're going to have a higher death toll. We're going to have more people getting sick. We're going to have that gigantic spike that we've been warning about, and could lead for him even more unfortunate consequences, because the only thing that Donald Trump cares about is himself and his own power. And so if that happens, and I hope it doesn't, but if that happens, there's probably going to be either a huge backlash in November, right, where people vote him out of power, or what I do, if this happens, what I could see is a general strike or even riots. You don't think that's possible? Oh, it's incredibly possible. It's absolutely possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it is possible. It's very real. Because you know what? You push people only so much. And for the last 40 years, we have been pushed as Americans to the very edge by the ruling class, by the corporations, by the elites, by their donors. Being forced to choose between, paying your bills and staying alive, well, that's not a choice anybody's going to really want to make. And that is, I think, unacceptable for most people. And our politicians are probably going to hear about it, and it's not going to be good. So if you think that there's a lack of civility now, just wait until people are literally given the choice between starve to death or get coronavirus and die. It's not going to be good. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.